It's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. I hope you're able to hear me over the din, the racket here. Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas and I've got to go speak on a panel shortly. And I thought I'd give you your video thought for the day because it's an appropriate venue from which to shoot today. Today's video thought for the day is finishing the days of creation, and we've been in Genesis 1 looking at those 6 days of creation, but then the first 3 verses of Genesis chapter 2 give us the 7th day. And it says on the 7th day, God rested because he had finished doing all of the work he had to do. And he made the 7th day holy. Now I want to talk about this today, and I want to talk about this tomorrow because they're both too much that I can fit into just one day, but they easily divide into 2 topics. So just bear with me for a moment. First of all, this is not an actual day of creation for God. The idea of a day of rest is an important part of Scripture. Now, if you're here in Las Vegas, they don't rest. I mean, it's like 24/7, 365 days of the year. They constantly have everything going. If you notice behind me as I've been walking, no windows. They don't let you know when it's daylight and when it's dark. They want you to constantly be aware of the fact that life is going on and you can be busy. And yet, in the midst of all of this, we've got a history in Western civilization that's very different than Las Vegas. The history in civilization is since Constantine, the Roman emperor, in 321-ish, instituted Sunday as a day of rest. And Constantine did this based on the biblical principles that God rested on the 7th day. And so Sunday becomes a day to honor God and to rest and, rejuvenate yourself for the coming week. Nations in Western civilization, as a result, instituted these laws called blue laws, for at least the last 100 years or so, which was the idea that they were called blue laws last 100 years or so. They've been in place for a lot longer than that. But the idea was that Sunday is a day where certain activities are prohibited. And so most stores were ordered to be closed. Lots of things could not take place. And it's interesting because the Supreme Court has upheld certain aspects of blue laws, even though they have a religious origin, saying that they serve a secular purpose. That secular purpose is keeping people from just being exhausted. A lot of state governments have taken that blue laws and struck them down as unconstitutional. So if you're in a state, you're able to more readily open your stores on Sundays. Now, as I'm going to step outside of this noise and see if this helps. Now, as a result, we've got this idea that's a very important idea, and that is that Sunday is not really made because God needed a rest. See, we should never think that his rest was something he did because he was tired. More on that tomorrow. But God put the day of rest as day 7, the day after he made humanity. Jesus explained it this way. Man was not made for the Sabbath, for the 7th day, but the Sabbath day was made for man. It's important that all of us take time each week not only to rest, not only to stop from all of our efforts, but to also focus on God and our relationship with him. And so that's a wonderful aspect. It's not easy to do in a casino or in Las Vegas, or at least parts of Vegas, but it is something that's absolutely important for us to do. Now, I'm giving us this in the middle of the week. It's Wednesday, it's hump day. But I hope we'll be working this week with an idea toward finding a day of rest this weekend and a day of focus on God. This is Mark Lanier, and that's your video thought for the day.